Alan, tell us what you think of David Gray at this moment in time and the job that he's done at Hibs.
Do you mean Sir David Gray? No, I think he's. I think in terms of he's had a bit of a baptism of fire when he's first come in, and he's had to face a tough start, and I think he's well. It looks like he's come through the other side, which is great. First and foremost, I think you've got to give a bit of credit to the board, because they could have easily pulled the trigger. But they've obviously put the trust in him, and he's rewarding that trust and that faith now with a run of results that's been very impressive.
Did you see it coming?
The turnaround, it's hard to say. You know, did I see it coming? Obviously, I was very conscious of the results, and I wanted David personally to turn it around because of, you know, I think he's a really good guy. One I've got a lot of respect for. So I wanted it to turn around for him, and obviously the club. But it's hard to say. Did I see the turnaround? I think once he got to a stage, he just needed to try and get whether it was a draw or something to just keep him there, and he's managed to do that, and he's obviously and it's great, you know, 13 games unbeaten, I think it is 14, is impressive, you know, is impressive. I think where they've come from, and you know, it's from where they were to find themselves in third position now. He deserves a lot of credit. He won't take it. You know, knowing David, he won't take it. He's quite a guy that will take a step back in terms of letting the players and everybody else take the credit. But he deserves credit. You know, just needs to smile a bit more when he win.
They beat Celtic last week.
Yeah.
Can they beat them on Saturday?
They can.
Sunday again?
They can beat them. It's going to be. I think it's going to be. It's obviously going to be even harder, because I think Celtic now. I think in the game, obviously Brendan was aggrieved with obviously one of the goals, which I see his point completely. But what David's done, what Hibs done, not David, but obviously what Hibs have done is they've planted the seed of doubt in the Celtic players' minds in terms of that we can beat you. Trying to get here, I should rephrase that, is a bit of pressure now that Hibs have got to handle. Celtic have handled it on numerous occasions, so that's what they've got to overcome. They've got to take what's at stake out of the equation and try and play on a if it is a level playing field, 11 against 11 in terms of stature and budgets and everything. It's not a level playing field, but he's got a chance. There's no doubt about that.
Alan, do you think Hibs can finish third?
I do. It's not going to be easy, because I do think they're going to be put under pressure. I do think obviously Aberdeen seem to have got over their little, well, not a little slump, but a big slump, and they look like they're coming out the other side. So they're going to put them under a bit of pressure, and I think there's enough teams to keep Hibs on it in terms of keeping this run going. You know, obviously Hearts have turned it around by the looks of it, and they're starting to come up the table as well. I'm pretty sure they'll finish strong. So, you know, it's not going to be easy, but if he did manage to do it from where they've come from, it's a fantastic achievement.
Rangers are out of the competition. If they were to beat Celtic, it really opens up, doesn't it?
Yeah. If to beat Celtic, then they're potentially, obviously, the favourites to well, they will be favourites probably to go on and win it as we speak right now. But I'm sure David won't be looking past that. Listen, I must stress, this is as tough as it gets for David. You know, you're going to be playing against a team that has had an unbelievable season, you know, in Europe, I think Celtic have gone to another level again in terms of where they are. But it's potential 90 minutes plus extra time. Anything can happen. Dave's already done it once. The question is, and this will be a barometer of where Hibs are, can they do it again? It's okay doing it once, and it doesn't happen all the time. But to do it again will be a huge testament of where or how far of Hibs have come. I'm saying, Brian, you made a really good point there before, is that the togetherness in this Hibernian squad looks fantastic. When they came off the pitch yesterday, you could see how much all the players are on board. You can see how much they're behind David. And that's, you don't go 13, 14 games unbeaten just by luck. There has to be a real togetherness, a real camaraderie amongst the dressing room. And I think that was so evident yesterday. Even me watching on the TV, it was impressive. And I thought straight away, you've got something going there, which is great. Yeah. Because you need your dressing room when you're going through them sticky periods in a game where you're under pressure, which they are going to be at the weekend. You need that resilience, that togetherness to come through. And David looks like he's got a group of players that are all fighting for him, and they're all on board.
You've also got a number of match winners, but I just wanted to know how impressed you've been with Triantis.
I think they all deserve credit from where they are. I think that David's now got the team playing to a certain degree how he wants them. You can start to see his DNA, how he wants the team to play. I think Triantis has been a breath of fresh air. I think he's been good. I think, and also, when you look at someone who wasn't in the picture, Rocky, who's come back into the team, been very good. My former player who I brought there, Boyley, come back on form again. He had a little bit of a dip. Now he's back. So they've got some good players there, and players who can win a game of football. More importantly, so I'm looking forward to the weekend. I think it's going to be a really interesting game.
You see the kind of leadership qualities that would transfer to a manager when you had another player?
I didn't, because he was still in his prime and still playing. You don't necessarily look too far because obviously you're focused on him doing a job as a player. It was only, after I'd left that and the conversations that I had, is, there's a potential for him to go into management. He's a really quiet guy in terms of in front of the cameras, but off camera, he's got a big influence. He had a big influence in the dressing room. Didn't say a lot of words at times, but when I needed him to say something, players stood up and took note. He had the dressing room, and I'm pretty sure now as a manager, he's got the dressing room as well. He won't. I think Dave, knowing him, he won't stand for substandard standards. He sets high standards, and if players are not reaching it, then I don't think they'll be with him long. So which is a good thing to have. And I think in no uncertain terms, the players know what levels David expects from them.
Alan, you mentioned Rocky Bashiri there. His contract's obviously out in the summer. Is that a business that Hibs should try and do?
It's David's decision. This is one of the things that he needs to decide now. It's a nice position to be in. I think whenever you players always seem to play well when they're in the last 6 months of the contract or the last year of the contract, and the timing of it's been very good because obviously he was out the picture for a bit, and I'm pretty sure he'll maybe have one or two options. So David's got a decision to make whether he wants to extend that or whether he wants to look at something different. I'll leave that one to David.